To do what it do, what's happening, what's up, what's good. So I am smoked, my legs are burnt, it's been busy, it's the end of the month, and the end of the month's when you make your money. That's when everybody wants to move. Yesterday was especially difficult, man. I almost reached my breaking point at multiple points during the day, just physically and mentally, just dealing with customers. We ended up overbooking yesterday. I really thought that I was going to have to cancel on a customer. We've never had to cancel on a customer. I think we've had to reschedule one time during COVID when my entire team got COVID. But other than that, I've never canceled on a customer. I just try to be as smart as I possibly can when it comes to scheduling jobs and, dispatching my crew and, making sure that we're not over capacity for days. It's been busy. I should have blocked off the schedule, but we ended up accepting some jobs that we shouldn't have accepted. Yesterday we had 6 jobs. Most of the jobs, or half the jobs, were fairly big. A few of the jobs were underestimated, just customers not providing accurate information. So I was running 3 teams yesterday, 3 teams, 3 movers. First job that I did was a pod, loading 2 pods for a customer. This customer was not prepared, didn't have any sort of protective materials for the pods. We were actually using, their blankets, gym mats, patio cushions, like a whole bunch of stuff to prep all of this customer's artwork. He had like 30-40 pieces of artwork. So that job ended up taking a lot longer than expected. We were able to get everything into the pods, thankfully, just barely. That job was pretty stressful. It took, 2 hours longer than it should have taken. But we were able to knock it out. I had a job after that I had to hand off to another team who finished their job before us. We had a customer that was scheduled for a 12 to 2 arrival. Our afternoon slots are always a window slot, no matter what. We don't give a customer a dialed in start time in the afternoon because we always have a job in the morning, especially on the weekends, especially at the end of the month. So we let our customers know when they book the job, hey, this is going to be a window arrival. Our team's going to communicate with you throughout the morning to give you a dialed in ETA for the afternoon. We could be there early or we can be there at 2 o'clock. We're typically not later than 2 o'clock. Sometimes we are, but most of the time we're there before 2 o'clock. This particular customer's apartment building booked his move for him and didn't give us his communication so we can communicate with him about the start time and our policies and all that. They didn't give the customer the contract or the estimate or anything like that. So the customer was kind of in the blue about how we operate. So he was pretty frustrated. He thought we were going to be there at noon. So he's calling me at 1 o'clock and he's just like, where the fuck are you? Just really rude right away. Like, I understand it can be frustrating and moving is a stressful thing, but, where the fuck are you at does not work for me. You're going to respect me. You're going to respect my team. So he was frustrated right away. And I explained to him, hey, this is a window booking. Your apartment building, the office manager booked this job for you. She should let you know that it's a 12 to 2 o'clock window. We communicated that to her multiple times. She signed an estimate that says it in big, bold letters at the top of the estimate that we'd be there between 12 and 2. And we go, so, well, it's 1 o'clock. Okay. Is it 2 o'clock? Because if it's 2 o'clock and we're not there, then I can understand why you're upset, but this is a window start. So I had to deal with that customer. We had another team at the exact same time on a job. This customer was estimated for a 1-bedroom townhome. They told us they had one full bedroom worth of furniture. The rest of the house was standard. They didn't have a lot of stuff. They did. We filled 2 26-foot box trucks, and this customer was moving an hour away. And so this team had another job that day, right? A second job that they weren't able to do. So then I had to scramble and move a bunch of jobs around and call customers and figure out which customer was really flexible and offer discounted rates. And it was just really stressful. This customer wasn't honest about their inventory. We filled two 26-foot box trucks completely yesterday because they weren't honest about their inventory. You know, you're gonna deal with this in the industry. You're gonna deal with customers thinking that, hey, maybe if I'm not honest about everything, I'll get a better deal. But it's an hourly rate. So if it takes longer, you're gonna pay more, right? You're gonna pay more than the estimated time. So it's important that if you're a customer and you're talking to a moving company, you're accurate about the inventory that you're providing. This customer was not. And it put me in a really tough position because this customer was a referral from a realtor that's referred like 10 people to us. So now the realtor's calling me and, hey, I need you guys to get this done. We just closed on the house. Everything needs to be out by 6 o'clock. And then I explained to them the situation like, hey, man, like, you know, we're solid. You know, we're reputable. You know, we take care of your customers. But this customer was not transparent about the amount of stuff she had. She was a collector. A 1-bedroom townhouse, 2 26-foot box trucks. And of course she wanted a discount, right? So then I'm dealing with that. I'm dealing with the realtor. I'm moving jobs around. My guys are burnt. It's the end of the month and we've been fucking busy this month. I got a guy that was out for a week and a half. I got another guy that's moving to Florida. We're a little bit short-staffed. I got a new guy that's in and he's kind of half-assing things on the job. I can't put him on a job by himself with another guy. I can't even put him on a 1-bedroom move because he's not efficient. He's been half-assing stuff. I'm on a job with him 2 days ago and he's carrying a piece of furniture and he's on the phone with somebody, right? And then he clips the side of the wall. The customer's there. It's right in front of the fucking customer. Clips the wall. Right away, she's like, we need to get this fixed. So then one of my guys gets the touch-up paint and he's fixing it and we're moving stuff and he's just kind of, you know, dragging his feet because he works a second job late into the night and he's just not efficient yet. And he just doesn't understand moving, right? But he's on the phone. So I can't put this guy on jobs, right? So dealing with that. So thankfully, the whole team was able to rally. We were able to smack all the jobs. Some of the guys didn't get back until 10 o'clock, which is a rarity. It does happen, right? A lot of that's on me, though. You know, when it's really, really busy, I got to be so fucking dialed into the schedule. I got to be so dialed in, man. I got to make sure that we have the capacity to be able to complete these jobs. I hate having my guys work late. It's a rarity. It really is. I really try to get them home by like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock at the latest. But sometimes we get big jobs and sometimes we bite off more than we can chew. And, you know, sometimes we have to do that because we have to make money, right? We have to hit our numbers. So yesterday was really stressful. You know, dealing with a customer that was really disrespectful right away. We ended up getting to the job and he didn't even say hello to us. He's just like, come on, let's go. You know, annoyed with us, right? But if you would have read the contract, you would have known that we would be there at 2 o'clock, which we were. We weren't there at 2:01. We weren't there at 2:02. We were there right at 2 o'clock like we said we were going to be. Like his apartment building agreed that we would be, right? So he was very rude. We ended up winning him over. He ended up tipping everybody out. He ended up having a good experience. None of the stuff got damaged, but the entire time he was just like breathing down our necks the entire fucking time. Yo, if you're hiring movers, I understand if the movers aren't solid and they're breaking your stuff and they're sketchy. But if they're not, man, they're just there to work. Like, give them their space to work. Like, your movers do not need to be micromanaged about you. You do not need to put your stress on the back of the movers. They're there to move your furniture. They're not there to carry your stress. Now, are they there to alleviate you of the stress by taking care of your move? Yes, but they're not here to like fucking play with your social dynamics and your aggression, your microaggressions and all that shit. They're not. So you need to give your movers space to complete the move. This guy was like breathing down our necks and making us feel uncomfortable the entire time. But we won him over. We knocked out that job. Then I had 6 guys rally to knock out a move actually in my condo complex for one of our neighbors. We're really close to her. She's super chill. Thankfully, she was super understanding of the entire situation. Gave her a 50% discount on her move. Didn't charge her for the extra labor. Smacked a 3.5 hour move in 2.5 hours. She tipped everybody out. We made sure she had a good experience. Didn't charge her for extra materials because her stuff was going into storage, because I know she's going to use us again. Thankfully, she was on our books yesterday, because if it was anybody else, it would have been an entirely different experience. It would have been more stressful. Yeah, and I'm spent, man. We got another busy day today, tomorrow, all the way until Wednesday, Thursday. I blocked off some days next week to give some guys some breathers and some breaks. I know some guys need some time off. Middle of the month, I'm blocking some days off, right? I'm going to try to do vacation at the end of the month. My dispatch manager is going to be taking some time off. He requested some time off back in January. He's going to be taking some time off. I definitely think that he does need to take some time off, because he's been underperforming in his position this entire time. I'm not going to get too much into that right now. But yeah, it's the busy season, man. And I'm just tapping in to tell you, you got to be dialed in. You got to be dialed in with your scheduling, how you're booking jobs. Try to take care of your team, make sure they're not burned out. But yo, I got to go. I hope everybody's working hard, working smart, grinding, and not sweating the small stuff. Peace.